I'd like to welcome you to the Country Place Greenhouse Show. I'm Bernie Bourbeau. We're located directly across from the Lebanon Springfield Airport on Highway 55. Now what you see here is basically the starts for the fall crop of the cool crops, the broccoli, cabbage, and cauliflower. These items will be ready probably closer to August the 1st. They're just about ready now, but with the weather, we kind of wait until that time to maybe get a little bit of coolness weather, and that way they'll do a lot better for you as a customer. We have a lot of broccoli. Broccoli is real popular in the fall, as well as the cabbage and cauliflower. What we have here is the mosquito plant. This would be something that people use. They take it, rub it, and you can get a nice fragrance in it, kind of discourage the mosquitoes and all. And so that would be one thing that we do have for sale, as well as we still have quite a few geraniums. We try to keep good plants all the way through the summer for the people that have a few things go bad, and then also are having wedding parties or having parties, or just want to plain redecorate at that time. We do try to keep a good stock of all the plants. Over here we have some geraniums, some that are really, really pretty. And then we have hanging baskets. We always have the petunia hanging baskets. And one thing I do want to show you is that you can always take clippings or little cuttings off of the geranium, the petunia baskets. And it doesn't hurt a bit to go ahead and do that on a regular schedule. When they start getting a little like hanging down a little bit, you can go ahead and clip them off, and it will make the basket really perform quite a bit better. And one thing you have to remember is to fertilize. You got to fertilize. Now don't over fertilize, just look at the directions on the package and fertilize accordingly. One thing too they need besides just regular fertilizer is an iron, and you can buy this iron net in a small container and spray it on them, and the iron will go into the leaf, and that will help out. Sometimes you get a little bit of yellow in the leaf. We put some iron on these a couple days ago. We run it through our fertilizer system, but you don't have that ability to do so at home, and that helps out. Now one interesting plant we have this year is a taller salvia. I use these in Lebanon, and I gotta admit they're quite vigorous. They like to grow. And but they are different, and they give it a look, a nice look. If you're down on Main Street in Springfield, in Lebanon, you'll see them in the backdrop of the pots that we have. And it's something that we're trying this year to give a different look, and I think it's working very well. We're also trying a megawatt begonia also, and those are kind of some new things that are coming. This megawatt begonia is a type of begonia that grows quite big and is very vigorous. Right now we have a 2-for-1 sale on all the Gerber daisies. The Gerber daisies are quite nice. They got some nice blooms, and to keep a Gerber daisy nice, you see these plants right here, you got to go ahead and clip out the dead ones, okay? You go all the way down and clip them out. You slide the scissors all the way down and you clip them out. And that way the plant will keep producing more flowers, and it'll look really nice for you. The sun impatiens have turned out to be a real good seller this year, and plus a good performer for people in their gardens and landscape. We've had several different colors of them, and I think that they're gaining in popularity quite a bit, and people are using them more and more. They're a little bigger plant, but they are quite nice, and we try not to grow the real great big plants. There is a bigger variety, but this is sort of a medium variety or smaller variety, and I think that you'd find the sun impatient to be a wonderful addition to your landscape. Vinca baskets are very, very popular right now, and that they're more durable and have the ability to stand up in this hot weather that we have in the summertime. And they do grow very well. You can see they're coming down really nice. And it's something that you can go ahead and utilize, as well as plant the smaller plant. We have them in a 4-inch pot. You can plant the same pot and make your own basket or patio pot, and it looks very nice, and you can decorate accordingly. Now over on the bench over there, we're cutting some of the plants off, and that's to make it's more of the upright vinca, but that's to make them more vigorous and growing. And I think that this kind of is something you can do at home sometime. If some plants always get a little straggly, a little tall, you can take scissors and just whack them off. You don't have to be hard on a plant, you might say, or you don't have to. It'll come back. It takes maybe a couple weeks for it to come back, but it's something you can do, and it's quite easily done, and with proper fertilization it will do very well. One of the plants we've had over the years is the petunia, and that's been a mainstay of a lot of our production. The wave petunia does very well for people. It does not need to be deadheaded. It will self-clean. Here in the greenhouse it self-cleans, but it's really a good plant. And we also have several different varieties and colors. The other thing that Steve mentioned just a minute ago is this large bougainvillea tree. That's kind of unusual. It's about 12 years old, I guess, right now, but it's really starting to show off now. I guess if we lived in Florida, that's what we would have in our backyard all the time. But right here in the greenhouse, it blooms twice a year, once in the spring, and then once right now, and it's quite spectacular. We also have another tree up here, which is a lantana tree, which is very unusual. Also have several large ferns that make real good baskets for your porch. If you'd like to go ahead and do some ferns, these are something that takes watering every day, really. They take shade in the morning. They do not have like in the afternoon. Well, they take shade all day, really. Basically, we have sun in the morning and shade in the afternoon, and it works out very well on our porch. The caladiums are also a plant for a shady area if you have that. We've got some beautiful caladiums, and that would be something you could go ahead and plant right now. But take a look at the hanging basket, the ferns. They're $14 right now, and they're quite large, and I think you'd be very well pleased with them. They make a heck of a deal for a wedding reception or a party and whatever you have to decorate your area. The lantana tree is something that's unusual. It's been probably 25 or 30 years that we've had it, and a young fellow made it when he was 14 years of age, and it's something that is pretty spectacular, and it's probably one of a kind, and I'll just maybe have to see about someday getting in the book of World Records in Guinness Book, but it is really a nice situation. It's something that blooms all summer. Lantana is a good plant for you to have. Lantana is a tough little critter. It will go ahead and survive misuse and abuse, you might say, from the weather, and it'll keep on blooming. And the hummingbirds like it too. And that's something that makes a real good plant for that area too. If you have hummingbirds, they like lantana, and it comes in a wide variety of colors. We also have a great selection of different grasses that can go in. Some are short, some are tall, and different colorations of them. And I think that you would find that to be quite attractive plants to use, depending upon where, if you want to accent a plant or an area in your landscape, and the height of them. And of course you can see one here has got some color already on the plumes, and they have different colored plumes, and that provides a little bit more showiness to a whole plant. We have hydrangeas that do well in the landscape for your, we have some short ones. They have a big bloom on them. a white bloom that turns, and they have some that go white and red and different colors, and it's something that is quite useful. We have some short ones that are like 3 foot tall up to 5 foot tall, and I think the hydrangea is something that you see them around quite a bit. They grow in the full sun and they do well in your landscape. I'd like to thank you for listening to the Country Place Greenhouse Show. I'm Bernie Borbo with Country Place, located directly across from Lebanon Springfield Airport on Highway 55.